statement, just raise your hand. We'll bring a microphone around to you.
All right, how y'all doing? Good, good. Excited about the year, obviously. Excited about fall camp and all the things that comes with it. Our guys have done a really, really good job. I think Coach Sinclair and our strength and conditioning staff has done a really good job of getting these guys in shape and having them prepared for us to start working with them. It's been really, really good. We got a lot of young players, a lot of new faces, and we're trying to teach them the system. So right now we're trying to in the slow process of how we do things, but those guys are doing a tremendous job and very excited about those guys. What we got?
Yeah, Coach, obviously you got a pretty heavy battle at safety opposite of KJ Bowl. What are you looking for in terms of a starter? What is it going to require to win that job this fall camp?
Obviously, Coach been talking about it, looking for guys that have PFE, passion, fire, and energy. It's a big motto of our team right now, but also looking for guys that can learn in the meeting room and can go out there and execute at practice. We do a lot of different things on defense. We have multiple amount of schemes, whether it's 4-down stuff, 3-down stuff, different checks. So we got to find guys that communicate. I think one of the hardest things to do as a new player, young player, is to come in and communicate and feel comfortable that you know what to do. So walkthroughs and different things that we do really helps with this. And our guys are doing a really good job. They're battling very hard. We're rotating those guys all around. So right now, we don't have any idea who's going to play in the first game. Those guys playing with different guys, whether they're playing with KJ and Jacory combination, or Adrian Maddox playing with KJ or Jacory, or Zion Branch, and even Kyron Jones as well. So we got a lot of different variables of things that we're doing right now, just trying to find some kind of continuity, and then guys that's going to be able to communicate and get things taught and get things executed.
Coach, you mentioned players learning to communicate. I'm guessing KJ is probably one of the ones you were referring to there. Again, being a guy so young like him, how many players like him have you been around at this stage in his career who's taken on the kind of responsibility he has so far of your team?
Yeah, honestly, good question. I feel sorry for him sometimes because we're looking around, and I'm looking for a guy that's been here for a long time. It ain't many guys. It's a bunch of guys that's new, first time in the scheme, and we do a lot of different things. And, it's really not fair on the kid, but it's something that he has really, took by the horn, and he's doing a really good job of trying to do that. Because naturally, KJ ain't that type of guy to be speaking and doing all that kind of stuff. But he's took the role really seriously and doing a really good job with it. He's doing some things in our meeting room, whether he's standing up, going through his whys, things that he's important to him, and he's doing a good job of doing that and really helping those young guys. You look at the success KJ had last year. He came into a great situation. He had Dan Jackson, he had Malachi Stark sitting here. Guys that been in the program knew what to do. So we didn't ask him to communicate as much. Those guys was communicating to him. You go fast forward to 1 year, now he's the guy that got probably the most playing experience in our room at the safety position, and we're asking him to go out and do all those things. But he's really trying his best to do it, coming in, meeting extra, doing all the things that he needs to do to be a good player. So he got to continue to do that, and it's going to really help us if he does.
Jacory's a guy that's been here now for a while. What have been your impressions on what he's done to this point in fall camp?
Yeah. First of all, I would say Jacory is the kind of guy we want in our program. He's a guy who didn't leave. He's a guy who stayed and waited his turn. You don't really see that anymore. Back when I was playing college football, hey, you had no chance, all right, they never thought about leaving nowhere. I mean, nobody did that. You went to a place and you waited your turn, and when your turn came, you tried to take advantage of your opportunity. And Jacory is definitely that. He's a guy right now who waited his turn. I'm sure he was discouraged at times, but he's waited his turn, and now he has an opportunity to go play. And we're excited about him. He's doing a really good job. He's a guy that plays with passion, fire, and energy. He's a guy that plays fast, cleaning up some of his mistakes and doing all those different things that he need to do to become the player we need him to be is something that he's working on. But we're excited about Jacory. Jacory is doing really well right now and having a really good fall camp.
Coach, obviously your second year in the program. Coaches change programs. I know the language isn't too different, but in terms of transitioning in and fitting in on the really talented, involved defensive staff, what's it like for you going into year two versus year one in your involvement?
Yeah, I mean, obviously being here for the second year, you kind of know how things go, right? So it gives you a little time to understand that you ain't got to worry about. You can. Coach Kelly, who's the head coach over there at Jacksonville State, he used to always say to me, you got sinkholes and you got potholes. All right, good. Pothole, hey, you're going to hit those at the University of Georgia. You can guarantee that. All right, you're dealing with Coach Smart every single day. You're probably going to hit a pothole or two. All right, do something you aren't supposed to do. All right, but the sinkhole is what you need to be avoided from. Right, so now going into year two, I mean, I know the sinkholes and I know things that we're not going to do and things that he don't want us to do, and then we kind of stay away from those. But when you look at our staff, we have a lot of continuity on our staff. Going into, with everybody going into the second year, that means a lot. So some of the stuff don't need to be said. All the little small details between staff-wise, we understand how we want to play this. We understand how we want to do that. All right, so that helps us with the players and keep everybody on the same page. It's something that we always working to do.
Yeah, what was the thought process going back to the portal and bringing in the three transfer guys that y'all did, and what have you seen from them this fall as guys who have played a lot of college football, but this is their first fall camp experience in Georgia?
Yeah, the first thing you realize is every place ain't Georgia, right? So just because a guy played, that don't necessarily mean, he's been in a system like we've been in. So you got to take that into consideration. Obviously, when you lose Malachi, you lose Dan. All right. Then you got to bring in some guys that got some kind of experience that have been in a college football game and actually made a tackle, actually made a play. Right. So, we went in the portal and we looked very hard and we were looking for guys that, number one, we kind of have a relationship with. Right. Like you don't want to bring in a guy that you have no relationship with. You never talked to him before. Hey, how you doing? You want to come to Georgia? You want to at least know something about him, and at least know that he cares and loves the game of football, because here is different than everybody else. You really have to love football to do what we do. Our kids, all kudos to those guys. They work hard. They're coached hard. They're demanded hard. And because of that, they have success. So really, when you start to look at that, those guys have done a good job of coming in, number one, of adapting to how we do things in our program. From the school sessions to how we walk through to how we practice. Everything is difficult. But those guys have really adjusted well. We really had some good guys. When you look at Adrian Maddox, you look at Jaden, all right, you look at Zion. Those three guys that came in the portal, those guys doing a really good job, and they're competing and battling. And sometimes they have bad days, sometimes they have good days. Right now, we're just trying to find that consistency in performance to get those guys doing what we need them to do. But been really pleased with those guys.
I was going to ask you about those three, but you just answered it. So let me ask you about the offense. You're constantly battling the offense, the wide receivers. I know it's early, 6 days in. Have you seen a difference? Last year they dropped a lot of balls. The offense started out slow. Are you seeing anything better from the offense this year in practice, or have you even gotten that far yet?
Yeah, honestly, we're just worrying about ourselves right now. Our offense doing a really good job. We're competing hard every day. We have some talented guys. We got a lot of new faces in the room, guys that's hard to cover. But for the most part, those guys are going out there and they're battling and they're really working on our guys. And we tell our guys all the time, our practice should be harder than our games. All right, we got talented guys on the edges. We got a lot of talented guys in our room. So having a chance to go and battle against those guys every day is something that we need to continue to do. But those guys are doing a good job, and they're hard to cover right now.
Time for one more question, Coach.
Yeah, have you seen Ellis Robinson attack these first couple of days as he enters his second year in his time at the program?
Yeah, Ellis came in with a lot of expectations, and rightfully so. He's a guy who's a really talented guy. Done figured out how we do things. He done figured out more, not what to do, what not to do, and he's doing a really good job. Ellis is a really good guy playing the football down the field, along with some other guys. You look at DeMelo Jones, he's doing a really good job. Dalen always do a good job, and then Daniel's having a really good camp as well. And then young guys, Dom and Jonte, those guys coming along really good. But Ellis is a guy who has elite talent. He's a guy that can do what we want to do. He's a physical player, and he's having a good camp right now. So we just got to continue to work through it and kind of figure out who's going to be out there and all that kind of stuff.
Coach, thank you.
No problem. Thank you, guys.